Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Welcome and thank you so very much for being here. As you all know, I'm Kim Serafini, the creator, founder, CEO, visionary, whatever you want. Just girl next door, friendly, down to earth, Aussie chick who basically invented what is positive prime. And do you know, yesterday I found an original PDF of the first statements that I wrote for an actual session called The Law of Attraction, Living the Law of Attraction, when it wasn't even called Positive Prime. It was actually called Enriching Visions. Pretty naff brand name, isn't it? And I actually only ever rolled out this product through the I Am Grateful brand. Of course, you all know that I'm the best-selling author of those books in that series. And I'm kind of firing up, ready to write another one. That's how I'm feeling inside. Without further ado, you're all here as wonderful members of our Positive Prime global community. I can see there's so many people from all over the world. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to bring a few people out who are actually going to entice you to watch their sessions. But before we do that, I'm going to start to screen share and talk about a couple of sessions. If you would do me a really great favor, you can either unmute yourself and express this to the whole group, or you can write it in the chat. This is for you. I really, really, really want to help you get the most out of your experience and your journey and your contribution or participation in this community. I really want you to get the results that you're seeking, the outcomes that you actually desire. And I'm here to help you optimize the experience. I want it to be efficient and effective for you. All of us are super busy, me included, and all of us, quite frankly, like the shortcut. So this particular session, this gathering together, is really ideally for those people who just have a question like, this is what I'm dealing with, this is the challenge, this is the obstacle, this is the opportunity, this is the limiting belief I'm trying to actually completely transmute, eliminate, have evaporate. This is the breakthrough I'm looking for. Whatever that might be, just let me know, and I will find you the session that I believe is perfect for you. Now, please hear me when I say this. The genius about Positive Prime is that you actually have an opportunity to go way beyond this very familiar situation. So I'll give you an example. Some of you may know the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. It's one of the most famous of all self-help books in personal development and self-improvement. And yet, some of you may not have actually really applied some of the greatest ideas and some of the suggestions and recommendations out of that book. And there's a couple of reasons why, but I want to give you just one. We as human beings find it quite difficult to actually have integrating into our beingness some of the most brilliant concepts so that we can actually live them and apply them, because they're not actually a part of our identity. So Positive Prime sessions are a little bit like, and I've seen some things out there in the marketplace, they're like Blinkist, or they're like Brian Johnson's Philosopher's Notes, or like, you know, the summaries that you always wish that you had of these fantastic books that are the bestsellers of, you know, those of us who are really trying to dive deep and develop skills and talents. So it might be a best, you know, selling business book, or it might be a best-selling habits book, or so forth. One of the things that I think that we do as human beings is we read these books, and then unless we reread them multiple times, or we re-listen to them multiple times in Audible, we find it very difficult to actually have it permeate us. Positive Prime's software actually does it for you in a really exquisite way. What you must do to access your subconscious and other than consciousness and your super consciousness, so that you're actually integrating it, so that you're internalizing it, and it's just oozing out of you very naturally and organically, very beautifully, is you must personalize the messages. And our software, by allowing you to add photographs of yourself, add photographs of anything that's significant and meaningful for you, will actually trigger your brain such that when you're acquiring new knowledge, when you're actually learning something, you'll have it really be much more easily applied in your life, and your results will be accelerated and amplified when you have internalized the message. And the fastest way for you to do that is to personalize it for you. Right? So no matter what the subject is, whether you want to be more patient, or you want to be more confident, Or you want to remind yourself just to stay in the flow and be graceful throughout your day. Or you want to actually really tap into the genius within. There's a great session by Dr. Paul Shealy. The point is that it's exactly like reading Think and Grow Rich and then going, oh, wow, they're awesome ideas, but actually never having it really show up in your real life, right? You actually not being really the evidence of all of that being the truth for you. And some of the reasons why is that you haven't actually allowed your other than consciousness to access the information and have you literally embody it such that it goes beyond believing and faith. It goes beyond that and it becomes just who you are, right? When it's just who you are, incredible things happen. And cognitive dissonance is this particular concept that we really harness with respect to all that we do here. So let's just say I want to be more confident, right? Well, if I believe that I am confident and I'm watching the confidence session and I see photographs of myself appearing, this is what happens. My brain literally wraps around all of my energy, my vibration, everything wraps around. My frequency is integrated, it's woven. It becomes who I am in the most marvelous way, okay? It really does become who I am in the most marvelous way. So I hope that I am helping you to understand that you owe it to yourself to go that extra step, that extra mile, but have this quantum result from that, like this consequence or implication that is literally exponential. Because yes, we can all read the book or we can all read the summary, but what we really want is to apply it and have the results in our life really come quickly to us. We want to be fast about it. We want changes to be rapid. We also want it to be enduring, which means it must be integrated into who we are being, which requires internalizing of the message. And the fastest, most efficient, most beautiful way to do that is personalizing. So if you have not yet, sure, just head on over to the upgrade your account. Now, so I'm going to screen share really quickly and we're going to go through one more thing before we dive into answering some questions. So upgrade account is after you have logged in. It's over here in the blue drop down menu that is on the right. It's the vertical menu. You go over here. You can either choose $99 a year, US dollars, or you can choose $9.99 a month. Do you know we have something really magnificent that we're actually launching on the 1st of January? Can't help it. I've got to tell you. I really have to tell you. I actually can guarantee to you that you will 100x your results or 10x your results. Which one would you prefer? I'd say 100x, wouldn't you? Yeah, 100x. All righty. So for those of you who don't love numbers, let me help you. I've got my calculator in my hand for my trustee. So let's just say I pay $9.99 a month and I want 100x that. It's that I'm going to expect $999 to flow into my life in value, in added value, in gifts, in generosity, in kindness, in reciprocity, in pure income, in increasing the valuation of any project I'm involved in. And so if this was to be the case, after 12 months, I would have expected more than $10,000 to flow into my life. Here's the deal. For those of you who aren't already, and indeed for those of you who are already, but there's a slightly different level to this, if you upgrade your account by the 1st of January and you absolutely follow the instructions and you watch at least one session every single day, and I'm going to show you that we can see that, and you personalize your sessions so that you're integrating the message, if you don't receive 100x return, 100x return by December 31st, 1 year, we'll of course give you your money back. But for those of you who want to jump to the next level and you actually really want to leverage Positive Prime as an actual tool that it does help you and your team members and your staff, help you as an entrepreneur, as a business person. If you really want amazing financial results and you'd like to actually work with us, you can become one of our very special referrers or affiliates. That actually does require that you're a member of the signature program, which is the higher level. And so for $19.99 a month, which is the minimum requirement to activate or qualify you, if you actually do 100x your results, we will actually give you a bonus that is the equivalent of $10,000 cash. We'll actually literally give you that bonus as a thank you gift for contributing and for being on fire and for absolutely transforming your life. So it behooves you to do what is necessary. If you actually contribute to Positive Prime, other people in your network or people that are in your audience, staff, clients, members of programs, students of yours, and they become members who upgrade to a subscription, if it's the premium subscription, and you generate more than $10,000 US, we will actually, in commissions as we pay you, we will actually pay you effectively up to $10,000 extra. We will actually literally pay you $10,000 cash bonus as a gift reward. So I don't want to go there really. If you want clarification, you can absolutely have a meeting with me. Now, what I want you to know is that we have this session called Loving Our Beautiful Community. This particular session is for our subscribers. So if you're actually contributing, you're investing on a monthly basis, and you're actually really wanting your life to improve in lots of different areas, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, etc., and you would like some healing on that level, we have lots of people in our community who are quite extraordinary energy healers, people who do Reiki, for example. Now, I, as some of you may know, am really well known for my healing powers. And I do this, and I'm going to invite you to participate in it. So what actually is happening in this particular session, and I'm going to just play it for 3 minutes. Okay, so I've gone into runtime here, and I'm actually changing the runtime from the standard down to 3 minutes, and I'm going to watch it. You can actually send us a photograph of yourself via email as an attachment, and Mayumi and the team will upload you into this particular session. Now, of course, we're actually downloading over 1,000 images that are part of the session, plus we're downloading everybody. So what happens is that, and I'm going to slow this down, inside this session, when I am in this incredible gratitude state, when I'm actually harnessing the magnificence of life force, I'm just sharing it and I'm saying thank you, thank you, thank you, and I wish you all the very best. And I would invite all of our members to do the same. You can actually all access Loving Our Beautiful Community. Plus you can see yourself in there. And what you can know is that there is a whole group of us who watch this session regularly and send beautiful, loving, healing, kindness, and generosity your way. And we wish you the best. And so some people find this way too esoteric for their liking, and some people really love it. It doesn't matter what you really are going to judge about it. It happens anyway. So if you're actually a subscriber and you want us to send you beautiful energy, you want us to actually uplift you, you want to feel like people have got your back, we're cheering you on, we're asking the universe for the best for you, then make sure you send us your photograph and we will include it in here. Some of you actually may recognize some of your friends from various different online communities or various different classes. Some of you may recognize members of my family, some of my closest friends. They're all in this particular session. So loving our beautiful community is really, really important to me, and it speaks to the essence of who we are. We're people who care for each other. We're people who genuinely are cheering each other on. We're people who are dedicating ourselves to enabling others and facilitating others to be their very best and to live lives they're very proud of, where there's ease and there's grace, right? Where there's joy and cheerfulness, and where there are profound contributions that are really bringing about peace on the planet, healing Mother Earth, healing each other, and so forth. Alrighty, so just know that this happens and you can be a part of it. It's available only to our subscribers, which is fair enough. Alrighty, so Who would like to come on out and share a story with us? Maybe just unmute yourself and say, hey, and go ahead. Clearly, obviously, you would be a positive prime subscriber. You will have personalized your sessions, and you've either got a great story to tell us about a result in your life, or you're actually the co-contributor, the author of one of these magnificent sessions, and you've actually devoted yourself to helping people really master their minds and their emotions, and you're learning all about positive psychology and neuroscience, and you're sharing it with the world. Alrighty, so maybe raise your hand, and I'm going to stop sharing here and know that this goes on in the background. Oh, we have extra people waiting. Alrighty, so who's there? I'm going to go to this particular screen. I know Jen has something really important to say, but she's in Switzerland and maybe it's so late there. She's actually got her pajamas on, which is what would happen for me. Patty, do you want to come out and share something?
Yes, I would be most happy to. So one of the things that I was just going to share, and my session was shared before, but it's this idea that if you have your own session, what that in addition to the personalizing can mean for you. So I have a session called the Mosaic Effect, and it is one of my favorites because it helps me to level up every time I watch it to the fact that I did this. Not only these statements are ones that I chose around, you know, my business and my message, but I have this feeling of this is my session and I have risen to the occasion of putting my message out there. And it helps me in these subtle ways with things like my own confidence because it's my own message. And I actually would apply that to some of the other people in our group. So Bruce is proud of his sessions. I think you have two, Bruce. And so what I would say is personalizing is really powerful for each of us to bring ourselves into the message in a much more significant way for the effect. But if you imagine creating your own session and what that can do, not only for your tribe and your following, but for yourself, it has been sort of surprising for me. So I like to kind of commingle my own session with so many of the other sessions, which are truly amazing, which are messages I need. Supercharge your brain. I love awakening. I watch achieving goals, etc. For lots of those same reasons, every day I'm on a mission for something that I want to deliver. When my father's been gone for a year, and I leaned into caring for the caregiver for myself. And there's no other session in the whole collection like that. And there's so many people who are caregivers. So you just never know what you're going to find. That's what I'll share for now.
Lovely. Thank you, Patty. Nathan, please come out and share with us.
Hi, everybody. My name is Nathan. I work with Kim in the background, and I'm part of the Transformative Technology Australasia chapter. I'm also an ambassador for Impact Theory. I'm the student ambassador. And one of the biggest things that we've been experimenting is co-creation and co-elevation. So there's a really awesome book out there for all the science geeks, you know, that wants to get the neuroscience behind it all. There's a book by Keith Ferrazzi. He's a management consultant, and he wrote a book that just came out this year called Leading Without Authority. And his tagline is co-create and co-elevate. We go higher together. So as part of Impact Theory Ambassador, I run quite a few groups, global groups, and one of them is called Get Shit Done Stars. We've been together for about 16 weeks now, and the amount of transformation that we work together, have achieved together, is just freaking phenomenal. So what I'm doing right now is I'm trying out one of the formula that Keith Ferrazzi, you know, said in the book. It's called deep connection equals vulnerability plus intimacy. So I'm crowdsourcing, and I'm getting everybody in my group to actually crowdsource a positive prime session that has all of our quotes and all of our poems and all of our photos and the achievements that we have made in the last, since June. And then we're going to commit to each other, and the group is going to be called Transformation, because transformative relationship is 1 + 1 = 3. Transactional relationship is just 1 + 1 equals, the most you can hope for is 50%. Because when you go in it with, I only get as much as I give, you're only ever going to hope to get 50% or less. So in a transformational relationship, it's 1 + 1 = 3. So we're doing this en masse, and we're going to crowdsource a session called Impactivist, because Gandhi says, be the change you want to see in the world. But us Impactivists, we want to create the change we want to see in the world. We want to create the impact we want to see in the world. And we're doing this en masse with Positive Prime. So look out for that for 2021.
Beautiful. Impactiveness. Nathan, just do a little, you and I love Tom, explain a little bit more to everyone here who may not know what Impact Theory University is, even though you and I are devotees.
Yeah, so a couple of quick information about Tom Belew. His name's Tom Belew, and his wife's name is Lisa Belew. You can find them on all social media. But his claim to fame is that in 2016, he created, excuse me, a company that went unicorn status, which means that it went from 0 to $1 billion valuation in less than 5 years. It was the second fastest growth, privately growth company in America in 2016. And for me, the most surprising thing is that majority of the top 10 were all internet software companies. You know, they use software to grow that fast. But with Quest Nutrition, they grew, and it's a protein bar. He had a vision to change metabolic disease. So you can walk into any health food store or any shops that sells health food in America and get Quest Nutrition. I found out about Tom Belew through Tony Robbins, because we did business mastery with I did business mastery with Tony Robbins, and Tony Robbins was telling us this story about Tom Belew. So of course I jumped on. He sold out of the company. I'm sure that he still has shares in it, but he sold out for over $200 million. And he started a thing called Impact Theory. If you jump onto YouTube, Impact Theory is just him interviewing the best of the best, because he wants to be the best of the best, and he's sharing that information with the world. And this is the most important thing about Tom Belew that I'm learning from, and that Kim and I are learning from. He created his customers, he created his community, he created a community of crazy, fans like myself, 1,000 true fan, 2.5 years. For 2.5 years, he went and created these, he gave value without any products that you could buy from him. The best that I could get was a poster with a goldfish with a shark fin and a t-shirt, and a diary. But then he announced Impact Theory University in June last year, and I was already sold. It was like, take my money, because I got so much value from him, and I was already a raving fan of him before he even had a product for me to sell. So if you look at it from a business marketing strategy, you can actually create a session, you can give it away for free to all of the communities that you belong to, and you can personalize each one of those sessions to that particular community. Give it out. Give them direction on how they should use it. They could do it as part of their morning routine. They could do it as part of their evening routine. And then as they actually get the transformation and the change, they're already fans. They're already your community. You've already created raving true fans. And it's just a matter of personalizing, because the personalizing is the thing that is really, really powerful. Think and Grow Rich is exactly that. I'm gonna send Kim a Think and Grow Rich thing that Bruce Lee did. Bruce Lee pretty much got kicked out of Hollywood, and he wrote a Think and Grow Rich thing that says that he wants to be, the best Asian-led actor in the world. And within 2 years of he writing that, he actually scored the contract for the Big Boss and made that movie that was, the movie that changed his career, and then got brought back to Hollywood to be that immortal actor that he is now. So getting back to it, the personalization is really key. personalization to your community is even more powerful. So that's what I'm doing right now with my Impactivist crew. And look out for the session that we create. And I crowdsourced it, so I didn't have to do it all by myself. I got everybody to help me do it. So it, 10 times faster.
Love that. Thank you, Nate, for sharing that. You're a sweetheart. One of the things that I tell people about Nathan is that he keeps me honest. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, he really is the kind of guy who actually does trial and test and prove all of these crazy ideas like ice bathing. He's a fan of living his life in such a way that, quite frankly, he'll sleep on the floor without a mattress or a pillow, just to prove to himself that he's tough enough to cope with whatever might come his way. Isn't that true, Nathan? Yeah.
I'm a fan of Goggins. I'm a fan of Goggins, and he believes in the 40% rule. When we give up, when we're at that that state where we just give up because we think we got nothing more in the gas tank, he says that we're only at 40% of our maximum. There's another 60% to go. Just that thinking alone allows you to overcome some of your difficulties. And I have to admit, I'm a Vietnamese boat person. I came to Australia when I was 7 years old, and to live in Australia with all the things that everybody complains about, for me, it's actually heaven, because, I have another 92 million Vietnamese back home that doesn't get the opportunity that I get. So I got nothing to ever complain about. My heart is filled with gratitude, and I'm out there, every day trying to live up to, what the gods have given me, because we could all choose. It's a choice. We can choose to, to suffer, or we can choose to just know that it's a lesson and move along. And I'm one of those people that move along. And I love, technologies like Positive Prime that helps me move along even faster. Because to be honest with you, Shirley, the question that you ask, it's a very personal thing. And you've got to experiment, you've got to try, because what we're working with Positive Prime is actually through not your prefrontal cortex, not your thinking brain, but your subconscious, the brain behind the brain that actually makes everything happen. So the question you asked about what session to watch and how should you be watching the same session all the time, try it out, see what works for you. But the thing that I really, really advocate is the personalization and also the emotion. You got to really get emotive about it. Do it that really moves you, emotion plus thought plus action. That's unity consciousness right there.
Love that. Thank you for your contribution. Don't you love it when we gather together and the best comes from everybody else, the best from the rest? I can see you, Patty, you're like smiling and going, woo! Alrighty, so is there anybody else that wants to share? Because these are really quick sessions. I will very quickly share my screen just to show you how you can navigate the shop, right? So I'm here, I've actually gone and clicked on shop sessions. I have to tell you, so many people have told me they love Michael Roper's new session called Mind Your Mind. Michael's in London. He's an awesome human being. He's actually shared very recently on a couple of our group gatherings. But let's just say we do want to build some confidence, right? The truth is that we actually have a couple of sessions that are about confidence, and we actually have one that I have created called Positive Prime for Confidence. What I've really done is I've excavated the research results, the studies that have been published around really exploring confidence and how do we develop it. And that's what you'll find in these statements. The statements in a Positive Prime session are always expressed in such a way that they become self-fulfilling prophecies, and they help you to turn up the volume on your inner voice, right? They actually allow you to repeat, if you play it on speed 1, out aloud, more empowering and enriching thoughts that can actually really inform the way that your inner dialogue ends up playing out for the rest of the day. Of course, we all want a cheerleader inside of us, not a critic inside of us. And that usually takes quite a lot of work. So In any one session, I will usually watch the session on varying speeds. Like at some stages, I'll watch it on speed 1 and I will say out loud the statements. And sometimes I will watch the session at really 3 minutes, which is a very fast progression, such that I can actually, as Dr. Paul Shealy would say, have it like wash over me, where I've surrendered and I've let go, and I'm not trying to read the statements. I'm not trying to discern. I'm not trying to make sense of. I'm trusting in this incredible power that we have in pre-conscious processing. And I know that we take in 40 million bits of information per second. Given our reticular activating system and the way it's conditioned, I know that I'm really paying attention to quite frankly, a very small amount of that, but that which is important based upon my goals. Alrighty, so all I'm going to say is rule number 1, suggestion number 1, recommendation number 1, literally log in every day. I keep it open on my tab every day. Every day I will come here. It's already open in Google Chrome. Google Chrome is the best experience. I will literally just refresh the browser, right? I do that several times a day as it's timed out. Number 2, like if I don't want to watch it here from the shop, I can go to my dashboard and I choose a session. Let's just say I want to choose a great session about leadership. And every day I'll kind of change it. I'll usually go in here and take it to 3 minutes or 5 minutes. But no matter what, I will upload photographs or I will edit in photographs of myself from my private collection. So I will click that and I will see whether I've got any personal images in this particular session. And it's highly likely I do back on page whatever. Look, see here, I've got some blue ticks. So I've already personalized this with photographs of myself. As you know, I've got photographs of my family and so forth. So I can go back here and here are some new photographs. You know, money flows easily and freely from everywhere. I quite like that statement. It helps me to fund Positive Prime's growth. So I've got goals in here. I've actually created JPEGs for that, and I'll save that and then I'll go and watch the session, right? Just log in every single day, refresh your browser every single day, just watch a session, watch for at least 3 minutes. Watch up to 3 sessions a day and earn up to 15 credits per day. As you actually have your credit balance growing, you can go and buy more and more sessions. Now, those of you who probably know because you're subscribers, if you're a subscriber, you actually are gifted 240 credits per month. That means you can buy at least 2 new sessions per month, acquire them from the shop and actually add them to your library. And it gives you a vast array of concepts and ideas for you to completely reinforce into your life. All right, so that seems like it's enough for today. Would you all agree? Enough for today? All righty. This witch session, we have a great recording from last month. We'll do this again next month. Woo! What I am going to suggest to you, if you don't already know, we're about to run a program. Sonia Cotti, Never Enough. Do you know what? Being Unsinkable is actually one of the first sessions that I did. I'm not sure that it's actually here in this particular platform because I know that I originally created it as an enriching vision back with I Am Grateful, and I don't think that I've actually migrated the content. I could be wrong. Let's go here to shop sessions and let's go to Sonia. Do you know I was the very first person to teach Sonia effectively how all of this works? She's like, so you can bypass the conscious critical judgment factor of the prefrontal cortex and you can actually access the subconscious. How do you do that? Oh, wow. So it needs to be at speed. Oh, wow. So it needs to have at least 1,000 slides. Oh, yeah. Also, it needs to be personalized. Oh, yeah. No, we don't have one from her. She's an extraordinary human being who's gone from strength to strength as well. All righty. Love you all, and I will speak to you soon. Hope that's been helpful. Thank you. Ciao.